You may have seen a post that I made a while back about how some media kits just have too much information. Or really, what I really mean is just a lot of the wrong information. So let me position this first. If you are wanting to position yourself as the leader in your field, then this video is for you. If you want to be the go-to person in your niche, if you want to be sought after as the person to go to for whatever it is that you do, then this video is for you. If you are not that person and that's not what you're looking to do, this video is absolutely not for you. Okay? All right, great. So let's go ahead and talk about your media kit. If you are looking to position yourself as the leader in your industry, then one of the things that you have to do is you have to start getting yourself in front of other people so that they can see you. You have to start sharing whatever your unique value is to the industry so that people can see you. People will not seek you if they cannot see you. That's just the way that it works. Okay? So there are some very specific elements that you want to have in your media kit if you are looking to be sought after for speaking engagements, podcasts, if you want to be invited to somebody's YouTube show. There are some very specific elements that you want to have in your media kit. So let's go through this one. This one is a hypothetical person. She's not a real person, but this is a template that we created for somebody who may be some type of an artist of some sort, like a songwriter, maybe a rapper, a dancer, maybe they create AI art, whatever the situation may be. Okay, so this is what this looks like. You want to have a very short media bio. Again, if somebody is looking to bring you on to their podcast, their YouTube show, their interview, if they're looking for somebody to speak at one of their conferences, they don't have a lot of time to read a whole lot of text. They just don't. They're not going to read it. And so you want to give a very short media bio, A, because that gives them some insight into who you are. But B, also, if they do bring you on to the podcast, or they do bring you on as a speaker, or bring you on to their event, they have a bio that they can use to market you on their platforms. And that way you can control the narrative of what is being said about you by people who are marketing you for their events. Okay. So one of the things that I often don't see in media kits is, what exactly do you want them to invite you to? So they create these beautiful media kits with all of these photos and all of this text and all of these wordings, and you're not telling people exactly what it is that you want. So in our templates, we have you literally tell people, invite me to your, and then you're going to list whatever it is that you're open for. If you're not open for podcasts, then don't put down podcasts, right? I am available for your YouTube shows. Bring me on for your podcasts. Bring me to your conferences. Bring me to your wellness events. Bring me to your children's educational events. Whatever events you want to be seen in, whatever events where you think it would be best for you to be able to share your story, you want to tell them in your kit very early on, invite me for your. Okay. Now that's really important, A, because you're very clear about what it is you want, and B, because the person who's looking at your media kit may get some ideas about some other things that they can invite you to, right? So maybe their conference is already filled up, but they have a podcast, and maybe they didn't think about inviting you to the podcast before. Well, now this is something that jogs their minds about different avenues that they can invite you for interviews and all of those different kinds of things. Okay. The other thing you want to let people know is, if you're looking to be interviewed, if you're looking to be on podcasts, if you're looking to present, you want to do TED Talks, you want to do whatever, let people know what it is that you talk about. You can't assume that because you are in a certain profession and you do a certain thing and you have items on your website. First of all, you can't assume that somebody who's looking at your media kit is going to go to your website in the first place. That's number one. But number two, just because they read all of that information about you, it doesn't mean that they are going to know what you speak about. So you want to tell them These are the topics that I speak about. This is where my expertise is. Okay. All right. So if you have had speaking experience anywhere else, you want to put those logos in your media kit. Why? Because it provides that social proof for you. Even if the only place that you have been seen are in local publications, it doesn't matter. If those publications have a logo, add that logo to your media kit. If you spoke at your high school graduation, go ahead and add that to your media kit, because what people are looking for is who else is interested in what you have had to say? Who else has invited you to their event? Is this going to be your first time having an event? Are they hiring somebody who's a first time speaker, or somebody who's only been on a podcast, only been on their own podcast? You've never been invited as a guest to anybody else's podcast. So it gives you that social proof that you need. So then the next item that you want to have is you want to have samples of your body of work. So because this is an artist and we're saying that this person is a visual artist and they've created visual albums, this person is going to have their top 4 visual albums. If you're a rapper, maybe you've got the top 3 songs that have been downloaded from your Spotify list. If you are a real estate agent, maybe you've got your top 3 case studies of people that you've worked with. If you are an author or a coach or a consultant, maybe you've written a couple of ebooks that you want to highlight here. So you want to show them that you actually have a body of work that you are contributing to your industry. So next, you want to make sure that if you have any awards that have anything to do with what it is that you do, you want to go ahead and highlight those. Again, understand that this person is evaluating you, right? So they're looking to see, who are you? What value have you brought to the industry that you're speaking about? Right? And what have you done? What have been your wins? Are you a winner or are you a loser? Regardless of how you feel about being evaluated in that way, the reality is that's how you're being evaluated. So you want to highlight any awards, anything that you have received, any type of accolades that you've received as a part of your career. Okay. So we are in the age of social media. Whether you agree with it or not, when people are evaluating you as whether or not they want to bring you as a guest to their podcast, if they want to invite you to give a keynote at one of their conferences, they want to know that other people care about what it is that you do as well. The other part of that is if they have an event that they are inviting you to, they're going to want you to promote that event on some level, right? Now, that's something that you can work out in terms of the contract, because just because somebody invites you to speak does not all of a sudden mean you become their social media content provider. That's not your job. And that's something that you would need to work out in the contract. However, they are going to expect you to at least post once, maybe twice, about where it is that you're going. And they want to see who is your audience, who's in your audience, how many people do you have in your audience, because that can let them know how many other people can see what it is that they're doing. Now, if you have any speaker reel, if you have any performances that you've done, any talks that you've given, anything like that, if you're a real estate agent, if you've got a really cool way of doing home tours that nobody else is doing, you want to put those videos in your media kit. These are the things that, again, highlight your ability to present whatever it is that you're here to present. So if you have been a guest on somebody else's podcast or somebody else's YouTube show, then you have video snippets of that, you want to put some of those videos up here. You don't have to put the entire video of all of your talks, all of your performances, but you do want to put snippets up here, because again, it provides that proof. They want to know, have you been interviewed before? Have you done an interview before? Have you spoken before? Have you performed before? Have you delivered in the capacity in which they're expecting you to deliver for their event? Of course, testimonials are important, but here's the thing. This is a media kit, not a client attraction kit. Now, as a byproduct of putting this out there into the world, this will help you attract some clients. However, that's not the primary intention of this. So because that's not the primary intention of this, you don't necessarily want to have testimonials of your clients, right? Like, I mean, that may or may not be valuable. Now, if you're a music artist and you've got some testimonials from people who have seen you perform live, that may be important, right? But let's say you are a wellness coach. Let's say you're a wellness coach. Let's say you're a personal trainer, okay? And you've got testimonials from people who you've helped lose weight. It's like, oh my God, I worked with Atondra and I was able to lose 30 pounds in 65 days and still eat all of the wonderful foods that I love. That's an amazing testimonial to go on your website for the purpose of wanting to attract clients, but it's not really a great testimonial to use if you're trying to attract any type of media opportunities, speaking engagements, because those things don't matter to the person who's holding the conference. They don't care about the fact that you've helped 30 people lose weight. What they care about is, can you hold an audience? Will you be respectful to their audience? Will you provide something of value to their audience if they invite you? So you want to have testimonials from other engagements that you've done. Hey, she was a great speaker. She really held the crowd. Our ladies organization got a lot of value. All of those kinds of things. Those are the testimonials that you want to add in your media kit. And 2, maybe 3 should be enough. Again, the person who's going over this is not going to spend 3 hours going through your media kit. Just give them a snippet of what it is that you do and who it is that says that you do great things when you hit their stages or you sit in their seats for podcasts, and that's going to be enough. Okay. Now, the next thing that you want to add is you want to have some approved photos, right? If these people are going to be inviting you to whatever it is that they're inviting you to, you want to be able to control how it is that you are marketed. You want to be able to tell them, listen, if you hire me for X, Y, and Z, I want you to use one or all of these photos. These are the photos that are approved for you to use in your marketing. I can't tell you how many times I have talked to somebody who was a guest on a podcast or was put in a magazine, and because there was nowhere for anybody to find approved photos, they just found a random photo, and it just so happened to be that person's least favorite photo, or a photo from 6 years ago, and you don't even look like that anymore. So you want to be in control of how you are presented to their market. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to give them a couple of approved logos. You don't know what kind of assets they're going to use to market you. So they may only use your photos. They may use your photos as well as your logos. They may be linking your logo to a lead magnet if that's something that's approved in the contract or in the agreement between you and whoever it is that you're going to be presenting for. So you want to go ahead and give them those things up front so that you don't have to spend the time trying to find them and give them to them later. And then, of course, on the last page, you want to be very clear. I have created this kit because I want you to invite me, right? So a lot of people just say, for media inquiries. I like to say for media inquiries and speaking invites. I want you to understand that I'm not just available for Channel 13 News. I'm not just available for Good Morning America. If you have a local podcast, I want to be on that too. If you have a local YouTube show, I want to be on that too. If you're having a local event for moms and moms of toddlers, I want to be on that too. So you want to open up the range of opportunities for yourself, and of course, make it very clear how they can contact you for those opportunities, right? So the purpose of me even going through this with you is just to show you that you want to make sure that you have the right information, okay? It's not about, well, it is about the fact that some of you actually do have too much information. That's absolutely true. Like, nobody is going to read a 3-page autobiography about you. They're not going to. It's not going to happen. Okay. So yes, some media kits have way too much information, and some of them just don't have enough of the right information. So these are the pieces that you want to put in the media kit because these are the parts that matter. Now, we have several different templates for the media kit that you, and of course you can just grab it, add your colors, all of those different kinds of things. If you want to take a look at some of the media kits that we have, let me know. I'll shoot you a link and you can take a look at them and choose them. Now, let me say this before I go. This is a PDF media kit. Okay, which means that this is something that you could put on your website and it's downloadable. You know, you'll have a link to it wherever you put it on your website, and anybody can go and download it. Now, I will say that having a PDF media kit is better than having nothing. However, in the current age that we are living in, it would serve you a lot more to actually have a digital media kit. That's a completely different conversation. We will have that conversation at another time, but I wanted to drop that with you just so that you would be aware. If you go with a PDF media kit, that's great, especially if you don't have anything, or especially if the media kit that you currently have doesn't have these specific elements in it. Okay. So something is better than nothing. However, you really want to consider, and let me take that back. I'm not even going to say that. You should have a digital media kit, and we'll have that conversation at another time. So hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.